What's up, everybody? It is your boy Baddog here with another New York Giants video. Sorry it's so late. Just got back from the gym and a lot of crap to do. But I definitely wanted to get my opinion on what's been going around and social media, Twitter, all that stuff about Kayvon Thibodeaux talking about how the New York Giants should have paid Saquon Barkley first. Is he taking a shot at Daniel Jones? Is he taking a shot at the front office? What exactly is Kayvon Thibodeaux talking about when he's talking about why they should have paid Saquon Barkley first? We know that a lot of fans are unhappy with the contract Daniel Jones received from the Giants. But before we get into all that, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up because it does help out the video huge. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you know when I do Giants content like this, go live or do whatever I do on this channel. Listen, it's the best free 99 you'll ever spend. It doesn't cost money to hit the thumbs up. It doesn't cost money to subscribe. Where are you going to get a subscription for free? You can subscribe to this channel for free. All right, so do it. It don't hurt nobody, right? Click it, forget about it anyway. So I know a lot of fans are mad about the 4 years, $160 million for Daniel Jones. Dexter Lawrence got paid. Andrew Thomas got paid. Saquon Barkley didn't get paid. And the whole year, or not really the whole year, yeah, I thought there was something off with the Giants. I mentioned it at the very beginning of the year that I felt like something was amiss. And I don't know if I was asking Patty Traina this or if I just said this to Chris maybe. I said, do you think that Daniel Jones getting paid, these guys getting paid, and Saquon Barkley not getting paid, do you think maybe that caused a little rift in the locker room? Do you think that players are divided about what happened with the contract? Saquon Barkley's obviously a very likable guy. He's the face of the franchise, if you will. He's a leader. He's a captain. He's a good character guy. He's our best player on offense. I don't think there's any question about that. And he came off of, a very good 2022 season in which the Giants, success was owed a lot to what Saquon did. Kayvon Thibodeaux coming out saying, hey, they should have paid Saquon Barkley first, meaning they should have paid him before anybody else, not just Daniel Jones. So, there's ways you go about that. I know a lot of fans are like, tag Daniel Jones, tag Daniel Jones. Well, let's get into this. Number one, you can't tag Daniel Jones because it would have cost $32 million against the cap. You cannot maneuver a tag. You can't maneuver that. You can't backload it. You can't restructure it. You're saddled with that $32 million. Now, people say, oh, I wish they did that because we could have got rid of Daniel Jones this year. Going forward, I mean, they can do it anyway. What's one more year? They can still draft a quarterback if they choose to. They're not stuck with Daniel Jones for the foreseeable future. They didn't give him an 8-year deal. I look at the Daniel Jones deal as they gave him a 2-year extension with a 2-year team option. So he's here for 2 years. They can get rid of him after 2 years if they so choose. I feel like they went into the contract saying it's kind of a prove-it deal. It's kind of we're going to pay you what we believe you can be. And if you don't reach those lofty goals, if you get hurt again, if you fail, if we're mad, we're going to replace you. I feel like that's what happened there. As far as Saquon Barkley goes, as soon as listen, to Kayvon Thibodeaux, the Giants did try to pay Saquon Barkley first. They did. That's who they went after. Not even in the offseason. During the bye week, they tried to hash out a major deal with Saquon. And they were like $4 million off. And Saquon's camp screwed that up. They screwed that up because the Giants weren't giving him a ton of money. The running back market's down. You're not going to overpay for a running back. You don't build around a running back, especially this day and age. With mobile quarterbacks now taking a lot of rushing yards, taking a lot of goal line carries and touchdowns, just like in Philadelphia, right? How many touchdowns does Jalen Hurts get, right? There's a lot of mobile quarterbacks. Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of other ones that I can't. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, they can all run. Right? So, not that Pat Mahomes is more of a runner, but you get what I'm saying. A lot of these quarterbacks take it upon themselves to score the touchdowns now. It's not like it was in 1995 when you were paying Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders and those guys, Thurman Thomas. Okay, it's not the same game. They tried to pay Saquon. He turned it down. The Giants were not about to frickin' give him a ton of money and overpay him and give him extra years because he has a tendency to get injured, and that happened again this year. He didn't even reach 1,000 yards this year. He averaged less than 4 yards carry. Really hurt his market value by not signing the deal. But what happened then was the Giants didn't want to let him walk. So they tagged. You can't tag two players. As soon as Saquon and the Giants did not come to an agreement, all the leverage went to Daniel Jones. If Saquon would have just signed the offer that the Giants gave him to begin with, then they could have tagged Daniel Jones because they could have restructured Barkley's contract. They could have maneuvered around it. But once Barkley didn't take that, and once Barkley, was like, thought about even holding out when he was, on the tag, the Giants, they were handcuffed. So obviously you want to pay Andrew Thomas. He's incredibly important. He's our only really good lineman, right? You don't want to let him walk, especially left tackle. Dexter Lawrence is one of the best defensive tackles in the league. I put him right up there with anybody. I don't think there's anybody much better than him, if at all better than him. So you're going to pay him too. He's very important. So it's not like they did not try to pay Saquon Barkley. And I also want to say this, and when things are taken out of context, especially on Twitter, it can look bad, like Kayvon saying, "Oh, they shouldn't have paid Daniel Jones. They should have gave Saquon Barkley money." He never said that. He never said they shouldn't have given money to Daniel Jones. What I think he was saying is they should have given money to everybody, but there's only so much money that is there to go around, especially with the Giants. They're cap stricken. They had to restructure contracts just so that they could make moves like getting Bobby Okereke, which ended up being a big deal. If they would have tagged Daniel Jones and let Barkley walk, they couldn't have done that because of all the money. So the ability to restructure Jones's contract after they made it allowed them to get a guy like Bobby Okereke. But it also allows the Giants to get out of it after next year. So what's the difference? If you would have just got rid of Daniel Jones, you're not taking the cap hit. There's your difference, right? I guess you would have had a lot more money to spend. But when you're trying to rebuild, which is what the Giants are doing, especially if you're going to go out there and get a quarterback, which again, we don't know that the Giants can even get one pick in 6. We don't know what the Bears are going to do. We don't know what the Patriots are going to do. We figure the Bears, Washington, the Pats all want a quarterback. So if that's the case, the Giants may not be able to get one this year. And that's Joe Schoen's job. Figure it the hell out. Okay. But at the end of the day, if there's a quarterback available that they like, they can easily draft the guy and have him sit for a year and take over in 2025. It's not, out of the realm of possibility for that to happen. But I just wanted to give my opinion on it. I don't think Kayvon Thibodeaux said anything wrong. I don't think Kayvon Thibodeaux was taking a shot at Daniel Jones or the front office at all when he said they should have paid Saquon Barkley first. But I also don't understand what he's talking about because the Giants made every effort to pay Saquon first to get a deal done in the middle of 2022 during the bye week. They didn't even want to wait till the offseason, where this year you heard that, with Xavier McKinney, who I don't think is coming back. Joe Schoen doesn't like to use the tag. I don't know if he'll tag Barkley again. I don't know if they'll sign Barkley. I don't know if they'll let Barkley walk. I don't know what they're going to do. They're probably not going to tag McKinney, who's made it clearly evident that he doesn't want to play under the tag. But the Giants are going to have to move on here. They said last year with McKinney that they were not going to try to get any deal done during the year. So they obviously made an exception with Saquon Barkley. They waited till the end of the year. They waited the 0 hour to get that deal done with Daniel Jones and got in right under the wire. They're in a bad spot. And I know a lot of people are killing Joe Schoen for the Daniel Jones contract. I understand both sides of the story, but they were handcuffed, man. Saquon Barkley put them in a bad spot by not signing that contract. He really did. Now, I guess the lesser of two evils guys would have said, just, let Jones walk and tag Barkley. And I guess they could have done that, but it would have been hard. I know that fans on Twitter, they should have done this, they should have done that. There's a lot of Twitter GMs. Hey, I'm a Twitter GM too. They should do this, they should do that. But that's why I'm on Twitter. That's why I'm on YouTube, because I am not a GM. And I don't know how any of that stuff works. And there's a lot more that goes into it than just, you should take this player and take that player. There's a lot more that goes into it than that. But I know a lot of Giants fans they should have brought Jones back. But I think it would have been hard to sell the majority of the fan base on, hey, we made the playoffs, won a playoff game for the first time in 10 years. He was throwing to Richie James. He was throwing to David Sills. He was throwing to Marcus Johnson. He was throwing to Lawrence Cager, Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton. Those were his receivers last year, his first year under Daboll's system. They accelerated the process. He had a great game against Minnesota. Everybody said, well, he shriveled up against the Eagles. Well, the Eagles always kick our ass. I mean, this is nothing new until the last game of last year. That was great. But it might have been hard to sell your fan base on, hey, we're going to go with Baker Mayfield, who had a great year this year. But Baker's not mobile. And behind our offensive line, a guy like Baker Mayfield probably would have gotten destroyed. So, listen, man, hindsight's always 2020. We can sit here and talk about this and debate about this till we're blue in the face. Me personally, I don't think Kayvon Thibodeaux did anything wrong. I think that the Giants did do everything that they could in their power to sign Saquon Barkley without overextending themselves and, locking themselves into a long-term deal where if Barkley would have got hurt again, like he did this year, he continues to miss 3-4 games a year and not produce the way he did early in his career, then everybody would have been killing the Giants. Why'd you give Barkley 3-4 years? Why'd you give him so many years? Because, this and that. Unless you win, unless your football team's winning, you can't win as a GM. It's a fact. Every move you make is going to be, criticized, scrutinized, whatever word you want to use. Hindsight's always 2020. But anyway, that's my thoughts in this video. I'd love to hear yours. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Ring a ding ding the bell if you made it this far. Legend. And I'll see you in the next one. It's a bad ding dizzle and I'm out. Peace.